Brothers, sisters, and all you beautiful backsliders, can I get an amen? The Spirit has moved, the call has gone out, and the merch revival is upon us. We're talking brand new designs straight from the prophetic pens of Sister Laci and Sister Lola. My current favorite shirt is the This Little Light of Mine. Oh, hallelujah, it's my favorite, but the Lord in his infinite drip has blessed us with many colors. Comfort color tees for the saints, hoodies for the faithful, sweatshirts for the weary, and yes, eco-friendly fabrics for the earth-conscious disciples. Every single purchase feeds the mission. It fuels the ministry and keeps this holy podcast pulpit running week after week. So don't delay, don't hesitate, don't let the devil of procrastination steal your blessing. Click that holy link in the show notes, enter the code. Oh wait, there's no code. The miracle's already built in.
Hallelujah!
Get your gear, wear it proudly, and let the world know you belong to the Deadly Faith congregation. Can I get an amen? Now back to the show.
Hey heathens, you're listening to the Deadly Faith Podcast where religion and crime collide. I'm Lola.
And I'm Laci.
And this shit is harrowing.
The mind that was in Jesus, that mind is in me.
Without me, life has no meaning.
Why would God tell you what I'm thinking and tell you what I've said to my wife or my husband when you're not around? It's because I'm the pastor of the church and I need to know.
This is the only place where you can see truth.
Oh, well, good morning, heathens. We are actually recording bright and early in the morning for once, so it's time for some crime, cults, and coffee. So take a sip and let's take a dip into some murder and manipulation.
Hey, let's go.
Did I practice that all day just because we're recording in the morning or all morning? Yes, I did.
I love it.
And I was very proud of it.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, so today I want us to think about a hungry predator, okay? Never sated, always searching, trailing, plotting for the next kill, okay?
Okay.
That's what I want your mindset to be, okay?
Okay. I don't know why that gives me the ick, but for some reason they
Good.
gives me
It
the
should
ick.
give you the ick.
Okay.
Just think about, I don't want to say a lion because that's too cool. What's a
I like
predator?
lions.
Think about a dung beetle searching for shit, always on the move. A dung beetle's not, whatever.
No, I like that one. We're going to go with that.
Okay, so we're talking about Rodney Alcala today.
Okay.
Let's go through some trigger warnings. Trigger warnings are rape, torture, and murder.
I will be honest, I know a decent amount about this case.
Okay.
I will say.
I hope I open your eyes to more on it. We'll see.
Let's get into it. It's not a fascinating case. There's parts of it that are fascinating, but it's just very like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there are parts of it that have been romanticized as well.
Yeah, and I think...
And kind of misconstrued.
Are you talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I actually liked the movie.
It was all right.
I felt like they did really good, but they made people feel like the case was just that when it was
bigger,
so much more than that. And how it ended was not how he got caught in the end. And so there's so much more to it. So that was kind of like disappointing.
So the movie that we're referencing is called Woman of the Hour.
Oh.
Right?
No.
Which one are you referencing?
No, the Dating Game Killer. It's a new one that came out on Netflix with, what's her name? I bought my ticket for the Anna Kendrick.
That's Woman of the Hour.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was called The Dating Game Killer. Just kidding. Okay, same movie.
That's what
my bad.
He's called. Spoiler alert, guys.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Okay, so let's go all the way back to August 23rd of 1943. Rodney, I don't know how to say this. Jacques? Alcala Bucor.
Jeez, I hate that that's a pretty name.
He was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, my stomping grounds, kind of.
He's got Spanish roots.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up with his two parents, two sisters, and one brother, and his maternal grandmother also lived with them in the same house.
Okay.
His dad was a Spanish language instructor, and his mom was a harpist and a teacher. I don't know what kind of teacher.
Oh, that's cool. A harpist.
Mm-hmm. She was really good, apparently.
Yeah.
When Rodney was 5. He began school at St. Joseph Catholic Elementary. That's right, Catholic roots.
Okay.
Spanish and Mexican families often
do have a Catholic root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll normally find that's the prevalent
denomination.
I was going to say not religion, denomination.
Yeah.
For those families. So he went to a Catholic elementary school and later moved on to attend Mount Sacred Heart.
Okay.
I like that name. Anyway.
I do too. Is that another Catholic school though?
Yes.
I was going to say, that sounds very Catholic.
Yes. So only Catholic schools when he was a child. Catholic schools in the 60s were known to utilize corporal punishment.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if he was punished, by force. He seemed to be a good student and he was a rule follower for the most part.
Okay.
But he may have seen violence at the hands of some of the teachers or nuns there.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say most likely.
I love to consult the Reddit boards for information on real experiences people may have had. And the overarching theme that I saw as far as people that attended Catholic schools in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that it was not great.
Yeah.
And they still think about it to this day. So,
Jesus Christ.
I don't have any concrete evidence for that, but I do think it probably fed into his behavior as he grew up. So when he was 8, he moved to Mexico with his family because his grandmother was very ill and she wanted to pass in her homeland.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that so nice that they did that just for her?
Just for her. Yeah.
So he attended non-Catholic schools, but his household still remained strong with Catholic culture and strong traditional family values.
Okay.
Sometime in his preteens, he moved back to the U.S. with his family after his dad abandoned the whole family. He
just said, peace out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
The family was left destitute and Rod was suddenly the man of the house.
Was there a reason why he left? Or he just...
I don't really know. I couldn't find any concrete.
Being a dad and a husband is just, I'm not feeling it anymore. Bye.
I wonder, I'm not sure if this was, no, it was his maternal grandmother. So no, it wouldn't make sense that her loss may have done something to him.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Midlife crisis much?
That's what it seems like. So
yeah,
Rod was the only boy in the home at the time when all this happened. So there was just a lot of pressure and fear just handed to him. Here you go.
Yeah.
This is yours now.
Yeah.
And because Catholic roots often parentify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Parentify the oldest
sibling.
The oldest child, sibling, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was thrust into that role, which was not great. And I hate that for him.
Yeah.
So they were living in Los Angeles, California, and he started attending St. Alphonsus, I think is how you say it. And later went to Cantwell Sacred Heart of Mary. So he's back in Catholic schools. And then when he was finishing his 8th grade year and ready for high school, he told his mom, hey, I have had plenty of religious teaching, and I think I know all I need to with religion. So I'm ready for just normal school, public school.
A public school. Okay.
What a way to put that, though, to be
I know.
I think I have everything I need religiously.
Yeah.
So they did let him start attending public high school, and he went to Montebello High School, where he was on yearbook committee and cross-country team. He played piano. He was very social. He went on dates. He had friends. It was all cool.
He sounds just
a teenager.
Typical teenager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't think twice.
Sounds great. In 1961, he enlisted in the U.S. Army as a clerk, and he also was part of a program for paratroopers. I don't even know what a paratrooper is. Gonna be honest with you.
It's they get dropped in whatever zone, war zone or wherever they literally jump out of the plane and paratroop down.
Oh, okay. That reminds me of Toy Story.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure those are paratroopers.
I think that on Toy Story 1.
Yes.
At Andy's birthday party or something, they
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I'm Googling that the paratrooper is literally they just fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yes, the soldiers from Andy's birthday.
So he's part of a program for that too, but it's not his main job. His main job is a clerk.
Okay.
About a year into his Army contract, his dad died suddenly. So his dad is still like away, but he dies. This was really difficult for Rod. He stayed in contact with his dad and was like close to him without living with him.
Okay, so still had some kind of contact with him. Gotcha.
So they were still, they had a pretty good relationship.
Okay.
From what I could tell. So this was very difficult.
Okay.
And things started to take a bad turn for Rod around this time. He started showing signs of manipulative, vindictive behavior. He showed no guilt or remorse for antagonizing his peers. So he was becoming a problem in the military.
Wow.
Amongst his comrades and everything.
Yeah.
I have a theory that his behavior may have been learned at the Catholic schools.
I can see that.
Not all Catholic schools are bad or toxic. Like when I was going through Reddit boards, which like, I know it's not a factual place,
right?
But like a lot of stories on there do ring true.
Okay.
There were a lot of people saying, hey, I had a good experience. Like I just had a normal high school experience, normal middle school. Like there was bullying from kids. There was gross lunches. Like it was just
nothing you wouldn't see in a public school kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's nothing like inherently horrible with going to like a religious school. It's just sometimes it can turn toxic, mainly because of like the administrators are overrun most of the time. So they have low funding because you'll find religious or Catholic schools normally in impoverished areas. So you're getting a lot of foster kids. You're getting a lot of like minorities and you're getting huge class loads of them at a time. And you only have so many staff, so many administrators to help with everything. So it can become overwhelming, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And they're low on funding because they literally only are funded by the church. Like whoever they are.
Do the kids pay tuition? Or is that just like I would assume, I guess, based.
Sometimes with some of them that are like private Catholic schools, yes, you do pay tuition. But there are also public Catholic schools that you don't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think they get like a little bit of funding from state because like they have like foster kids coming in. They have like stuff like that. But in general, I don't think it's always a tuition-based thing.
Okay.
If you guys have any information on that, listeners, let us know.
Yeah. I did public school all the way through. So I couldn't tell you.
So I think that it's possible Rod may have gotten the idea that he was like better than others too. And that he could like do what he wanted and say whatever he wanted. This is my personal opinion though.
Yeah.
That's all. Like he did really well in Catholic school. He says he has all the religious knowledge that he needs. I think he was a little bit full of himself.
Superiority complex, kind of.
Yeah. Also, another thing to note is during the 1960s, the Catholic Church was under reform to become better, which is like great. But from what I understand, there were older members of the Catholic Church that were upset because like this is the hippie movement coming through.
Right.
So they're moving towards more progressive masses that no longer are led in Latin.
Yes.
And altar girls are now there, not just altar boys, but altar girls were now part of mass. So like there's some conflict happening while he's going to school and these, at these Catholic schools. So it's just
polar opposite views clashing. Yeah.
So it's possible that like he saw conflict in the school. And then he also, because his family, strong traditional Catholic values, there's some kind of like butting of heads there.
Okay. Yeah.
Between church stuff and family stuff at home. Just theories, nothing concrete here.
Yeah.
So the following year, after he starts like showing this like behavior in the Army, Rodney shows up to his mom's house just out of the blue. And he's saying, I hitchhiked here from the base in Fort Bragg, which is a 3,000-mile trek, I'll have you know.
Hitchhiking 3,000 miles. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
And also, this means that he is AWOL, and that's a crime when you're in the military.
Yeah, that's big illegal.
So this is just not great. At work, he had apparently been having nervous breakdowns.
Oh.
He wasn't performing well. His peers just kind of noticed he was just off. There were also allegations of sexual misconduct. I don't know what those were.
It didn't specify.
No. And I tried to look up his military records, but I was unsuccessful.
Yeah, they're hard to find. They're hard to get.
Yeah. So, because a lot of it actually is entwined with HIPAA because it holds a lot of their healthcare information, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
So while he's at his mom's home, he exposes himself to one of his sisters.
What?
Say more? I'm confused as well.
What?
And his sister became hysterical, obviously, and just pushed him out. They're like, go away, get out of here. So whatever.
Okay, I'm assuming he's got to be early 20s at this point.
Yes.
The early 20s is really when mental health, if you're going to have some kind of mental breakdown.
Something to emerge.
Yeah, psychosis or whatever it may be. It's very common to happen in your early 20s. So I'm wondering if it's something like that
could be part of it. Yeah.
Is play. Yeah, I don't know. Just to randomly be here's my Peter. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Go away.
We don't know much more about that situation too because Rod is the person that told us about it.
Okay.
Not his sister. So
okay.
I didn't find a lot of quotes from his family or sister. I think also a lot of their Catholic roots kept them we're going to keep certain things quiet. Some things are too taboo to speak on,
And probably of the time.
Yeah.
And once we go through all of his crimes, I don't know that I'd want to speak out and give quotes at all. Anyways, if that was my brother, I'd be I want to distance myself.
Yeah.
So far from you.
Yeah. I actually did try to find his sisters and his brother on LinkedIn and Pinterest and stuff to see if I could get more information just on that one scenario. Because I'm not even sure which sister it was, but no success. Whatever.
Wow.
So while he's AWOL, it's 1963 at this point, he was caught assaulting a woman in public and arrested and then returned to the base. So he's finally back on military watch.
Whoa.
And so he comes back. I don't know if he's ever punished because they don't discharge him immediately. A year later, he is medically discharged from service and diagnosed with severe chronic antisocial personality disorder with sexual deviance and comorbidities.
Whoa.
So we would know all of these things to be different today versus the 60s.
Right.
But I'm not there's so much that I don't understand with how certain diagnoses back then look different now.
Right. So what would this look like today? We don't. Yeah.
I do not know. And I don't want to speculate there because I don't want any, there's already such stigma with certain mental health disorders, such as schizophrenia. That's one everyone likes to throw around in the true crime zone. But there's a very low percentage of schizophrenic patients that commit violent crime. So
I'm assuming he was getting treatment. Because he went AWOL.
Maybe, yeah.
So they're what? And he was showing signs of some kind of mental health.
Yeah, before going AWOL.
Yeah. So I'm sure they were okay, maybe it was his mental health. They attributed his mental health to what caused him to go AWOL. So then they put him in treatment. And
possibly
a year or so later, they were you are no help. So you're just going to get medically discharged because we can't.
That makes sense.
You're a liability.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Well, let's fast forward. It's 1968. He's 25. 4 years after his medical discharge, LAPD get a call from a citizen that saw a car seemingly following a little girl that was just walking on the sidewalk.
I don't like that.
The citizen follows this car because he's worried about this little girl. So he follows the car to a house nearby that it parks at. Officers are told like where this house is. They arrive to the scene, and one of the officers goes up to the door, knocks, and a male answers the door. And he's like, you know, I gotta get dressed. Like, I was showering. Like, he's topless, you know, and like he's got like a towel around his waist, you know. And the cop is like, okay, I'll give you 10 seconds to get dressed, but you need to come talk to me, because this person that called LAPD, they said that they saw him grab the girl and put her in the car before. That's why he was following too. So he saw the car following her, and then he was like, kind of saw it slow down. Girl is no longer visible. So he's like,
I remember hearing this story. I did not realize this was Rodney Alcala. I remember this specific scenario, and I'm like, oh my God, this is Rodney Alcala.
Okay, so officer gives him 10 seconds. 10 seconds later, the officer kicks the door in because he's not able to breach it normally. And he's horrified at what he sees. There is blood everywhere, all over the kitchen tiles, and there's a pool of blood. And when he like follows it, he finds a little body, little girl, laid on the floor in the pool of blood. And there were little white Mary Jane shoes laying next to a dark, menacing metal bar, like a crowbar.
I don't know why when you say Mary Jane shoes, it just like,
It hits.
it's a whole nother level. Yeah, it hits so different.
Like the innocence of like a Mary Jane shoe. Like, tell me fashion isn't
Coming full circle. Yeah.
fashion is emotional. Anyway, so
well, that's true. Yeah.
so yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
You see,
I'm uncomfortable.
The cop literally said in the interview, he's like, I still see those Mary Jane shoes in my head. Like, so that little girl wearing those shoes that had those shoes is 8-year-old Tally Shapiro. Love that name. Anyway,
I do too.
Tally was walking to school when she was lured into the car by Rodney and brought to this house where she was brutally raped, strangled, and beaten.
How old was she?
8. I know. It hits different because your kids are around this age. Ugh.
I have a child who's 8.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's insane.
the officer, you know, he sees her there. She's lying lifeless. And so he steps over her body in search of the man that had just answered the door. And he doesn't see anyone throughout the house. He clears the whole house. Nobody's there. So the guy, Rodney, ran out the back door. He sees. So he walked back into the kitchen, and there on the floor, coughing and breathing, the beautiful Tally Shapiro. That's right. She is alive. She is okay.
Oh my gosh.
And he rushed her to the hospital and saved her. She did not die. Tally is still alive to this day. Yeah. So.
Okay.
The emotions.
Can you imagine growing up and then knowing this case, like knowing who he is, and like we know everything, well, to the most part, what he's done?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Diabolical.
Trust me, she comes back later on. She comes back.
Okay.
So, after a closer look around the house, officers see a lot of photos of young girls on cameras, Polaroids, whatever. Like, it's everywhere. And they're among the piles of photos. Because remember, they know this is this dude. They remember what he looks like, but they don't know his name.
And the cops saw him, so.
Yes. So among all of the like stuff in the house, they find a student ID for UCLA, 25-year-old Rodney Alcala, who is now their main suspect.
Love it.
So officers go and speak with one of Rodney's professors and ask about his behavior. And the professor is like, oh, he's a great guy. He wouldn't hurt anybody. Like he does well in class. Like he talks to people. It's just like how he was in high school. Just well-adjusted, nice dude, right?
I need everybody to get that sentence out of their vocabulary. They are such a great person. They would never.
When you say that, they would. They have.
You just don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
There are people, like, there are a few people that I trust and I let my kids go spend the night at their houses.
Mhm.
And I do have that internal feeling of they would never. But then I also remind myself, I really don't know.
Anything is possible.
Anything.
Anything could happen.
Billy could have a woman tied up in his basement for all I fucking know. You know what I mean?
Damn it, Billy. Don't do that.
Not that. Yeah, Billy. I don't know why I said.
Anyway.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay, so at UCLA, Rodney was actually the top of his class.
No.
And when he did graduate, he graduated with a bachelor's in fine arts. He had an IQ of 160, which is genius level.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Not for him. Because if you're that smart, I feel like you are probably also very smart at manipulating people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so remember, this is the 60s, so it's kind of, I don't want to say easy to hide from police, but it kind of is in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not brought in.
But
Yeah. He's not arrested.
they can't find him?
It's just not happening. Nope. He,
What the fuck?
in 1969, decides, okay, so that all happened with Tally in 68. Okay. So it's 1969. And he's got an impressive resume at this point. Okay. Like he's graduated from UCLA, top of his class, But also now, add to the resume, he's part of FBI's most wanted list because he fled to New York.
Did he just like leave his apartment? He left everything. It was just like, I'm out after he got caught?
So that house was his mom's house.
Oh, okay.
So that house that he took Tally to, that was his mom's house. So
Okay. All right.
he didn't like own a place at that point.
Okay.
So he goes to New York and guess what? He gets into NYU film school. What the fuck? Like he
Background checks, people.
He made friends. He just made a whole new life for himself there. And he was charming everyone he met. And his peers were none the wiser as to what happened before he got there.
Right.
Real quick, just to recap. So Tally's attack happens. At this time, he is graduating from UCLA, top of his class. And he fled to New York to evade arrest. So
And gets into NYU.
yeah, now he's in film school. Great. Love that for him.
Okay.
I hate him. Anyway, so at this point, let's move forward a little bit. It's been 3 years since Tally's attack.
Okay.
And Rodney has been quiet, and police don't have the forensics or any of the technology to locate Rodney at this time.
Poor Talia. Like,
Yeah.
she's just
Yeah.
having to sit there in fear as a child. He's not being caught.
Yeah. And the police can't reassure her as to his whereabouts at this time. Like, oh, he's nowhere near you. Like, because they don't know.
The most they can say is, he's on our most wanted list.
Yep. So June of 1971, the sophisticated, intelligent 23-year-old Cornelia Michael Crilly is a flight attendant.
Okay.
She's so cute. She's amazing. She's intelligent. We love her.
I made a face because I thought you were about to start talking about Rodney, and I was like, meh. And then I was like, oh, wait, you're talking about something else. So like, okay.
No. I'm talking about the classy cutie Cornelia Crilly.
I like that name.
Isn't it nice?
There's some good names in this episode.
There are, yeah. Unfortunately, though, she loses her life.
What?
Mm-hmm. So, June of 1971, that is her final summer to experience in this life.
Wow.
She was moving into a new apartment one day, and her boyfriend had been busy. I think he'd been at work that day. So he left the apartment, and she was like busy getting it ready and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when he came home that day, the apartment was locked, and there was no answer for their phone for the apartment. So he was like, what is happening? So after he couldn't get a hold of her, he calls police for assistance. And a horrifying scene is here. Cornelia had been stripped naked, gagged, strangled with her own stockings, and had a ferocious bite mark on her breast.
Ew.
Yeah.
I really don't like that.
New York has a massive history of violence. We all know this. And police were unfortunately not well equipped as they might be today. And Cornelia's case went cold for 40 years.
40 years. Jeez.
This same year of 1971, Rod changes his name to John Berger and gets hired in New Hampshire to be an arts and drama camp counselor for girls. It's a girls' camp for arts and drama. Okay.
No.
Super gross.
No.
Super gross.
I forgot about this part.
He's also dating the camp owner's daughter. So he was teaching photography at this camp. And 2 girls at the camp, they go to like a local post office to do something. And they see a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And guess whose face is on it for FBI's most wanted? Their fucking camp counselor.
Rodney Alcala.
So they take it and they're like, oh my God. And they take it to the...
But it says Rodney Alcala, right?
Mhm, yeah. It says
Okay.
Rodney Alcala.
And they
on it.
know him as John Berger.
Yes. So they take it to the dean of the camp and give it to them. And police are the dean ropes in the police to this situation. And Rodney is arrested by the FBI and handed over to the California authorities.
You know, when they called the police, they were like, keep him there
Oh, yeah.
and make things like just
Make it normal. It's class time. Get on with the day.
And you can't do anything until they arrive.
And you're just like,
And this is a camp. Are we out in the woods? Where are we at?
I actually don't know if it's like, I don't know what kind of camp it was.
Probably not in the woods, but when I hear camp, I just automatically think of the
I
woods.
do too. I automatically think that too. So who knows? So at this point, Tali's family has left the USA, which legally changed the whole situation in a way. So police could only offer Rod a plea deal because her family and her are not present.
Why couldn't she come back? She come back?
I don't know. I wish I had that information. I don't know.
Well, I know I'm interrupting. I'm so sorry. I can also see why they probably would also not want to make her come back and testify at such a young age and like relive that trauma.
I feel like that's probably a factor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that probably is.
So they offered him a plea deal to plead guilty to child molestation and register as a sex offender. So he did take the plea and received 1 year to life in prison, but he was paroled after 34 months of being in prison.
He would have killed her. If that cop would not have been there, he would have killed her.
They thought that she was dead. Like,
exactly.
She was strangled. I know
and
that
they were like,
they probably didn't understand what strangling meant necessarily.
But 1 year to life, and then he spends 36 months, 34 months, whatever it was. And they're like, yeah, I think you're great. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care what kind of rehabilitation you've been in. You ain't never coming back from that. Rot and die in jail.
Okay. I agree. Yeah. Okay. I see you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Okay.
Yep.
I validate this.
You do not deserve to live outside the bars. You did that to an 8-year-old. You violently assaulted and raped her.
Ugh. Yeah. Ugh.
I don't care how many people tell me you've been rehabilitated. Sit behind those goddamn motherfucking bars.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Disgusting. Okay, so he served 34 months and then he had no trouble adjusting back to civilian life. He even got a job again easily.
I don't like this.
Just a deceiving little snake he is. He was hired by the LA Times as a typesetter and photographer, and the paper did not check to see if he was a registered sex offender, or they would have seen it and then maybe asked more questions, but they didn't. Okay, so the year is 1965. We're going back in time a little bit.
Oh, okay. This is before Talia's. Okay.
So Morgan Rowan is 13 years old, and she is new to North Hollywood area.
Okay.
She's shy and young and a student at a Catholic school.
Oh.
And one evening, she's enjoying hanging out with her friend at the Hullabaloo Club. It's a big name celebrity type club, so you may have heard it in passing.
No.
And it's in its heyday, it was like where all the celebrities and like politicians and everybody hung out at.
Okay.
Big musicians, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
they were there to watch some of the bands play, and they were outside of the club waiting when two men nearby were like kind of flirting with them, like making eyes at them. And they're smiling and winking, and one of them waves them over and talks to them for a bit, and he introduces himself as Rod.
I don't like that.
Well, Morgan's friend leaves to go say hey to somebody else, and Morgan is so excited to have Rod's attention. She feels so important right now. He is making her feel excellent, okay?
And she's a teen.
Yes. And they were talking a while, they were hugging, and then Rod is like, come with me, takes her by the arm, and suddenly he becomes more aggressive and starts pulling her into like the alley behind the club. And she thinks like, oh, he's going to kiss me. He slams her head into the concrete wall and she passes out. She's knocked out cold. And she woke up a while later to find herself, she was pinned between the wall of the club and a large dumpster. So her whole body was like pinned to the wall. And she was alone, and she was beaten bloody, and she was able to like push the dumpster away with all her force. And she wiggled out and then went into the club. And the club owner's wife saw her and helped her and like cleaned her up and everything. And Morgan said, I'd see him around again, but I never went near him again. So I still saw him around that club, but I never went near him again.
Wow.
For 3 years, no contact with him. It's late August 1968, and Morgan has to move to New York, okay?
Okay.
Right before she goes to New York, she and her friends go out one last time on the Sunset Strip in California.
Okay, so they're in California. Okay.
Rod is suddenly there in front of them. And Morgan tries ignoring him, just like she has been the last couple of years. And her and her friends are like, let's go to IHOP and let's go eat. Man, I want pancakes anyway.
Now I know, me too. You said IHOP, and I was like, God, I want pancakes.
It's not the first time we've talked about IHOP. Anyway, so when her friends were getting in the car with her, Rod suddenly jumped into the driver's seat and took off. And Morgan hadn't told anyone about that incident with Rod, okay? She kept it all quiet to herself. So after they all eat, they get back in the car and go back to Sunset Strip. And Rod stops outside of his house and tells them to come inside so they can party. But Morgan's ready to leave. She's like, nope. And she starts pacing anxiously outside. And then Rod grabs her and he drags her to his bedroom, throws her inside, and then he places a metal bar across the bedroom door. So like there are like slats that hold the metal bar. Like this is something
like he built.
Yes, he built it. Yeah. It's not a normal asset of a door. So Morgan told him, you can't keep me here. Like, let me out.
Yeah.
And he punched her in the face. And then
asshole.
He used a knife to cut. So like in the 60s, girls used to wear like little ribbon ties around their neck instead of like a typical necklace choker. It was a little like ribbon. It'd be satin or velvet. She was wearing one, and he cut it off her neck and cut her neck at the same time.
Jesus, dude.
Which is like, if you get cut on the neck almost anywhere, there's so many vessels that like a lot of blood happens regardless. It looks like you've been cut like a great deal.
Your face, your head, your ears, your neck, a lot of it is like you get the tiniest cut and it's bleeding like a freaking monsoon.
Yes. It's just, it looks like it's pouring and it could be the tiniest wound, but it's
Right.
regardless, it's scary. So
Yeah.
that's happened. He cuts off all of her clothes with the knife.
God.
And then he puts the knife on the floor to undress himself. And Morgan was brutally raped. She fought super hard and she prayed very hard while it was happening. But suddenly,
Poor baby.
Morgan's friends are outside of the window and they are banging on the window. And then the window shatters.
Hell yeah.
That's right. One of her friends had thrown a rock through the window and busted in there to get her because they saw what was happening.
That is some ballsy ass shit for him to do that while all of her friends were there. Like,
I know.
God.
So Morgan's friend Mike had broken the window to save her. And
We love you, Mike.
We love you, Mike. He scoops her up. He takes her outside. They get her covered. You know, they go get her cleaned up. Suddenly, the whole party, though, like before she's like swooped away, the whole party of people are now like getting in the room.
Oh.
Which is like, he's totally okay with all of this. And then like, poor Morgan being like humiliated in front of all these people.
Yeah.
Like, how absolutely like, not that there's any shame to be felt by her, but like, you're naked in front of all these strangers. Like, I know it's the 60s, but still, like.
Right. Same. Agreed.
So everyone's seeing the compromising position that Morgan was put in. And so her friends start, you know, scooping her up to take her outside. When they take her outside and start trying to help her clean up, she just runs.
Yeah.
Morgan just like runs to the street. She won't call the police. She won't talk about what's happening. She was a virgin before all of this. And she like, you know, it meant it meant something to her, you know?
So he didn't rape her the first time in the alleyway.
Mm-mm.
He just like physically assaulted her.
If he did, maybe she didn't know. She in interviews, she never said
Okay. Jeez.
anything about that, to my knowledge. So
there are so many layers to that, like horrifying, embarrassing, just all of it. It's
confusing situation. So her friend Mike takes her home, and one of her friends ended up calling the police, but she refused to speak with the officer whenever the officer did show up. So the officer did not file a report because she didn't speak.
You can't. There's not, like, I mean, the officer can't do anything.
Friend called because other friends, something happened, but like, we don't know anything. So, but Morgan was now a totally changed girl. Okay. She was robbed of her happy, free spirit. Once she moved to New York, she gets a letter when she's there from a girl who had been at that party where she like was exposed to everyone about Tally Shapiro.
Wow.
And but Tally's identity is not like known in this article. Yeah, there's no face. It's just there's no name or face. She's not identified. It just says 8-year-old girl was, you know, raped and almost killed. So Morgan was haunted by the story. She searched for more information on this girl. She was watching media and news coverage about Rod's actions all through the years. In New York, when she was living there, whenever anything came out about New York stuff, you know, like it hit even closer.
I wonder if he went to New York after that because he knew she was there.
I don't think he knew.
Well, because he knew that she was going to New York because they were out celebrating. I'm sure it got brought up in conversation that night.
I'm sure it did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if it just put the bug in his mind of like, oh, New York, and so I'll just go there because it was the last place he'd heard of.
That definitely could have, I mean, he was horrible.
Yeah.
It's possible. And since she never really like, she still came around the club and stuff after everything that happened. So like maybe he's thinking this is someone that I can take advantage of multiple times. But so just know that in the background, Morgan is watching everything that's happening. And she's also searching for Tally. She wants to know more about Tally. So in 1977, Rod is living in New York again. So this is after he was arrested, taken back to California, and served 34 months. He's back in New York again. And at this time, I don't know if you guys remember that we previously covered Son of Sam happening in the 70s. So at the same time that everything with Rod's happening, they are actively hunting Son of Sam.
Wow. Okay.
They've got really overcrowded prisons in New York. It's just not a good time for New York, okay? They're struggling. Yeah. They're under attack. It's crazy.
I think in the 70s, the prisons were highly overpopulated.
Yes.
Yeah. Just everywhere.
So they're letting people out as much as they can, Yeah. Even for violent crimes, which is horrible.
We saw that with the Texas case, the guy who brutally raped and almost murdered his classmate.
Yeah.
And he was let out. And he went and did it again and again.
So Rod had only been in New York for a week before he started up again with his horribleness.
Shocked.
A talented musician, artist, the sweetest little lady. She was so kind. Everyone described her as kind over and over. 23 years old, Ellen Hover. Her college friend told media that Ellen never confused what she had with who she was. And I think that's important because she came from money and success. Her godfathers were Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin.
Damn!
But she remained humble. She was educated. She was talented. She was beautiful.
Yeah.
But she was never uppity about it,
Yeah.
I like how her friend said she never confused who she was with where she came from. So,
yeah.
Anyway, or what she had, sorry.
Yeah.
So Ellen went missing, and her case was a top story because of the family status.
Yeah.
In New York, and during the investigation, police searched Ellen's apartment and found her calendar where she wrote she was meeting with a John Berger on the date that she was last seen before she disappeared.
Okay, this motherfucker didn't come up with another alias.
No, he's not creative. For a high IQ, I mean,
right?
And for going to art school, shouldn't you be a little more, whatever?
John Berger is so plain. And they already know you use that alias, you idiot. I'm glad you're dumb, but okay.
But the police are not putting all of this together, okay? So we know John Berger from the camp, right? Me and you know that.
Yes.
But they don't know that. Because this is the 70s with the New York Police Department. They're relying on a lot of footwork. They're relying on messy faxes and paperwork. And they've got Son of Sam. They got a lot going.
I know, but it's he is a registered sex offender. So the first place you look
is there, yes,
is the sex offender list. They should have known and seen that his alias was John Berger. That should have been on his file. It would not have been fucking hard. This isn't even DNA. God damn it.
Again, though, lots of paperwork to go through. They don't have the same computer work that we have.
I know. You're being too nice. I'm being too mean.
Ellen is missing for about a year before her remains are found. They are buried in the grounds of Phillips Memorial Hospital near the Rockefeller estate, and her dental records were the match.
A hospital? Estate? Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't expect that one. Wow.
Rod left New York and headed to California again.
Yeah, he goes from one coast to the other. All right there, bud.
I mean, the travel expenses. Anyway. On the way, another woman crosses his path named Christine Thornton, along with her boyfriend, Ish.
Okay.
Ish. It was spring, and Christine and his boyfriend were going to Montana to pan for gold. How cute. And she was pregnant.
They were going to Montana for what?
Gold. To pan for gold.
Gold. Pan for gold.
Yeah.
I thought you said gold. I yawned and my ears closed for a second. So I was like, did she say gold?
So along the way, she stopped contacting her family. So normally whenever they stopped, her and her boyfriend, they would make a call to family and be like, we're at this place now, and give an update about stuff they're doing and whatever. It's a nice road trip. So
yeah.
Well, she kind of stopped doing that. And so her family was like, something's wrong. Did they hit trouble? Like they run out of gas? I don't know. Money? And also her relationship with him wasn't great. He was abusive. So the family
great.
knew that. They were like, oh my God, did he like hurt
What
her?
happened?
You know?
Yeah.
They never saw her again. She didn't come home.
Wow.
Boyfriend came home. She didn't come home. He said that they split up well before she went missing.
Do we believe him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Based on more information that comes out later.
Okay.
So Christine was labeled as a missing person, and her case went cold. Spring of 1979, California Beach, 12-year-old Robin Samso, long blonde hair, tan skin, lovely, gentle. She's hanging out with her best friend. She loves the beach. Oh, she loves it.
She's 12.
They love being in the sun. They're adventurous, you know. She's an active girl. So her and her friend, they're hanging out at the beach where Robin, she's supposed to be a receptionist. Like, she just got this job as a receptionist at a ballet studio.
Oh.
She was going to work there.
At 12?
Listen.
Hey, girl. Get your coin.
Labor laws. Anyway, so
Right.
the beach where they're hanging out is a couple of blocks away from this ballet studio where she's got to work later that day. So she's just like soaking up some sun with her friend before going to work. She was going to work there in exchange for lessons.
Oh, that's...
So she loved dancing. She wanted dance lessons for ballet.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So she was just hanging out on the beach with her best friend when a man with dark hair was like super focused on them, and they just noticed. And he came up to them and was like, can I take your photos? And Robin's like, yeah, for sure. Like, but her best friend is suddenly like, she sees her neighbor down the way, and she's like, oh, he just let him take your pictures, and then I'm going to go over here and see my neighbor for a second. So she kind of walks away. So when she's over there, the neighbor sees Robin.
Interaction.
And she's like, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah.
So she comes up and she's like, y'all good? Like, everything okay? And the man with dark hair hit his face and ran away very quickly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not suspicious.
So they're like, weird. So the girls decide to go home then. And Robin's friend told her, like, here, take my bike because, like, you've got to get to work and stuff. And so she takes the bike, and they didn't see each other ever again.
She just went missing.
Yeah. Robin's ballet teacher called the family when Robin didn't come to the studio. Because she was like, that's definitely not like her because she really wants lessons. You know, and so it's a big deal. And so
sounds like she was normally on time and showed up for her shift of, you know, whatever it was.
So the family called 911 immediately, and her friend, her best friend, is interrogated by police, and she tells them about the man. And police recreate a sketch based off of the information that she gives them. And 12 days later, Robin's body is found, and her family are forbidden from seeing her because it took them 3 days to identify her because Robin's body had no hair.
Wow.
Animals had scavenged her, and she was mainly bones.
You know what? Like, I understand people wanting to, like, try to identify their loved ones or, like, wanting to see it, but
that closure of just knowing it is them.
Yeah.
You know, like, that makes sense.
And, like, you put your eyes on it. I get it. But at the same time,
some things you don't need to see.
When it's that brutal, like, you can't identify her bones. You don't know what the hell her bones look like.
And to see your loved one's bones.
I would be.
Because remember, there's also other pieces of, like, organs that are probably still somewhat attached, you know? Maybe some skin left somewhere. Like, that's got to be just a terrifying image of your loved one. You don't.
My best friend from childhood, we knew each other since we were 3. We were really close as a family and stuff. When was Lily born? Or was it? No, Tawny was born. I was pregnant with Tawny. Her son, he was 5, and they were always wear a life jacket. Okay, always wear a fucking life jacket. Her dad took him fishing. They're 5. Took him fishing off this, like, embankment type thing. And the little boy wasn't wearing a life jacket. And so when they were fishing, he fell in.
No.
So Grandpa jumped in after him to try to save him. And it's literally just like a drop off. There's no like shallow end. Like you just fall in the water. It's deep. And he was trying to like save the son or save his grandson by like grabbing him and trying to throw him up onto the embankment. But he kept missing because he wasn't strong enough in the water to like get him up. So he kept hitting the side and then like coming back down in the water. They both died. And it was extremely tragic. But she had to go in and identify her son's banged up, bruised, swollen, waterlogged body.
It's even, I feel like it's so much worse when they're like swollen from the water.
Yeah. Because he was in the water. It happened around like late lunchtime and they weren't rescued from the water until like 10 o'clock at night.
They just look so much worse when they're full of water.
I know. And she had to go in and identify her dad and her son. Yeah, it was pretty tragic. So like I'm like, can you just... Is there any other way you can do this? Like,
I know. That's why like dental records are super helpful too, because they're super unique, you know?
Yes.
And like...
Or like have a close family friend or somebody go in and see the body. Not
that too, yeah.
Like your loved one. Like I would do it for you and your loved ones.
I'd do it for you.
I wouldn't want you to see that. Yeah, I just wouldn't want you to...
Don't make me do it.
Don't make me do that shit.
If you die, don't do that. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can't be a part of that if you do that. So.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so firefighters had found Robin's body, if you were wondering how.
Okay. Yeah.
They were doing fire maintenance in a remote location about 40 miles away from that beach where they had the encounter with Rod.
Yeah.
And the police sketch that the officers recreated based on Robin's friend's description goes out, and Rod's parole officer sees it, and he's like, holy shit, you fucking windpipe sucker punch.
I love the random words that come out of your mouth.
Rod's parole officer calls local authorities and gives information. And so now they have a trail of where to go, kind of.
They have a lead.
Yeah. So, and Rod had actually been brought in before by the same police department for questioning in the Hillside Strangler case that was ongoing from 1977 to 1978.
Wow.
So like
so many fucking serial killers. What was up with the goddamn 70s?
This is what makes this case even more like messy and like disturbing, and so it piques people's interest, is because it was like kind of wrapped up in these other stories or happening around the same time. So like it just, I don't know.
What was in the water? Jeez Louise.
So the investigators, they are familiar with Rod because they've spoken with him before. And one night while they're like kind of trying to figure out how to get to Rod, you know, how to find his exact whereabouts and like things about him, one of the investigators is like, he's the lead of the case. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't look at this shit anymore. Like, I got to go home and rest. I got to sleep. I haven't slept. So he goes home and he's like watching TV to unwind, and reruns are on.
I don't know where this is going.
And he sees Rod on the screen from a rerun of the dating game.
I didn't know that part.
He's like, my case has followed me home. What is happening? Like, I didn't mean for this to happen, but a rerun of the dating game had Rod on there. So let me tell you about the dating game. I keep wanting to say the gating game. Sorry.
The
dating game.
Sounds like some kind of gay game. Like,
it does.
The gating game.
So the dating game first aired December 20th, 1965, created by Chuck Barris. And how it works is a bachelor or a bachelorette asks questions to three unseen, or like they're darkened or either behind a curtain, single individuals in front of a live studio audience. And at the end, the bachelor or bachelorette chooses one of three contestants to go on a date, and the show will cover the expenses. Super cute idea. So in 1978, Rod is a guest on the dating game. I don't know how he did that, but on the show, He is witty, he's funny, he's well-groomed and smart. He has like the wittiest comebacks to everything. I think he's creepy, but like this is just how everybody else sees it.
Again,
he has some weird things to say.
Checks. Background checks, guys.
So Rod actually was the winner of the dating game. The woman who selected Rod is Cheryl Bradshaw. And at the end of the show, she actually canceled the date before it happened because she said he was creepy and made her feel uncomfortable.
Snaps, girl, snaps. Listen to that gut.
So the investigator, he like watches this rerun and he's like, this is for like, I got to get back on the case, whatever. So they start looking for him in the actual area where he was last seen. And he was very close to where Robin's body was actually discovered when they found him.
Whoa.
He literally was sitting on a park bench in Monterey Park. He had chemically straightened his hair. He had like really curly, dark hair. He was like, he kept it long. He was well known for that. That was like his look was long, curly hair.
Yeah.
So he chemically straightened it. And he also had no alibi when they asked him, hey, where were you at? Whenever Robin went missing, you know, like, what's up?
And this is the 12-year-old, right? Robin's
Yes.
the 12-year-old. Yes, okay.
And he had no alibi, so they arrested him on July 24th. And they also discovered that he had changed the carpet in his car. So cars used to have carpet on the bottom of them instead of like today we have like just plastic or rubber.
Yeah. I still have carpet.
Shut up.
I have an old car.
No.
I'm pretty sure all carpets. That's true. Pretty sure all cars still have carpets, Lola.
No, not all of them do. Am I thinking of Tesla? Do Teslas have carpet? Sorry.
I think every car has a carpet.
You know what? I'm thinking of, what am I thinking of?
The bed of a truck.
No, the insert. I'm thinking of the
like the mat.
The mat. Thank you. Why am I saying insert like it's a boob?
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm thinking of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the carpet in the car had been replaced. Who does that, by the way? Like,
yeah, no.
When you detail a car, you don't really do that. So
no. You get it cleaned.
You just vacuum,
not
just
replaced.
Scrub.
I took my car to get detailed a couple months ago, and I opened the car door, and he's like, and I go,
no.
He goes, how clean are you wanting this? And I said, I just want it clean. I said, I don't care if the stains are still there. He goes, oh, okay, thank God.
Oh, shit. I haven't been in your car. I need to look in your car now.
No, you don't.
I know, I'm going to.
You don't.
It's fine. You like it, it's fine. And he said that he changed it because he got gasoline on it, which is also just not, you can still clean that, but whatever.
I've gotten gasoline on my carpet.
I mean,
we cleaned it. The smell lasts forever, but you know.
Who hasn't gotten gasoline in their car at some point?
Yeah.
Either on the carpet, seat, whatever. Like, you can clean it. So,
yeah.
Well, they arrested him. So while he was in jail, his sister visited him and their conversation was recorded without their knowledge because all phone calls are recorded from jail or prison. So Rod tells his sister...
But they didn't realize it?
No, they didn't know that. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, well.
So Rod tells his sister on the call, I've got a storage locker that the cops don't know about in Seattle, and you have got to clear it out for me. It's got stuff in there. You got to just get it all out, destroy it. I don't care. So he's so dumb. For someone with a high IQ, how do you not know it's recorded?
You're in jail. Also, if I was that sister, I would literally turn around and be like, I need to talk to a cop.
But technically, police didn't even need this recorded, like, conversation to find this locker because in a previous search of his home, they found a storage receipt where he had rented the storage locker 9 days after Robin's murder. So they beat his sister to it, and they had already cleaned out everything.
Was her bike in there?
No, it wasn't like a huge storage locker.
Okay.
It wasn't like a
walk-in one.
Yeah.
It was very small. Okay.
You couldn't fit a bike in there.
So they had already seen it. But I'm telling you right now, you, my brother, I'll be turning your ass into the police. This is not the first time you've been arrested.
This is also another point as to why I wanted to speak with his siblings is ask, like, were you going to do it?
What was your thought process?
Did you try to do it? And like, what were you talking to him about? Like, what was that conversation about? And like, did you think he was innocent? Were you backing him? Like, what is this? So they took everything from the logger, and I mean everything, which included 1,700 photos of vulnerable women.
No. I don't like this.
So some of them were like just candids, of people that are just alive.
Because he's a photographer.
And then some, he had posed the bodies of his victims he killed to take photos.
After they're dead?
And they also found a silk bag with a pair of earrings in it. Or, I'm sorry, multiple sets of earrings. Lots of earrings.
Oh, trophies.
Yeah. And one pair of those earrings belonged to Robin, and they were identified by her mom.
Yeah.
Robin's mom was also, we're going to talk about her. Anyway, so whatever. These photos, though, you've got a bunch of naked pictures and compromising positions. It's just, it's bad.
Yeah.
And I have a link that will be in our show notes to the non-explicit photos.
Okay.
So you can see
non-explicit. Okay.
all the other like just candids of like random people that he took photos of, and that will be relevant later. I'll talk about that again later on.
Okay.
As to why you may need access to that.
Okay.
In February of 1980, Rod was on trial. There were 50 witnesses for this whole trial. Long, super long court proceeding, like the longest. But the jury brought a guilty verdict and sentenced him to death. However, the Supreme Court, they caught wind of the case and decided that he didn't get a fair trial because the jury had been informed of his prior sex crimes.
I don't understand how sometimes that's allowed in and sometimes it's not. Like,
I don't either. It feels like it's just a big game.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shouldn't you have all the information to make an educated decision?
Exactly.
You do that with other things, with science.
Yeah.
With healthcare, with math, like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
With math. Why am I bringing math into this? Okay, so a second trial is held, and Robin's family, they are holding fierce that he's the perpetrator. He did this. The earrings, Robin deserves justice. And he was convicted again and sentenced to death again. The jury had also, they got to hear testimony from two of the jail, not roommates, cellmates.
Cellmates.
That.
Jailmates.
Whatever. And they said they heard Rod discussing the kidnapping and murder of Robin.
Jeez. They just can't shut the fuck up when they're in jail.
So,
just yappity yap.
At this point, he's been on San Quentin's death row since 1980, and now we're shifting forward. It's 2001. I know I'm skipping. It's relevant. He goes to federally appeal his case. Boy, the appeal was granted. Why? I don't know. He said that he had evidence he didn't get to present to the jury, so a new trial is set. God, he loves to waste taxpayer money. So he's in his 60s at this point. It's early 2000s. He's in his 60s. Robin's family has been dealing with this for so long. So long. They're exhausted and devastated. I mean, they keep having to relive this shit, And
yeah.
So this new trial, all these proceedings, guess how long they take?
2 years.
10 years. 2010.
Oh my God.
Is the year of reckoning, okay? We've got new technology. We've got new resources. I mean, a decade's time, you get a lot more information, which is great.
Right.
And Rodney is now connected to Cornelia, the flight attendant. Cornelia Crilly, her cold case by a partial fingerprint on a letter laying underneath her body. Thank goodness they held on to all that evidence,
He is so dumb.
And they matched dental records to the bite mark on her breast, and it was 100% a match for him. Ellen Hover, the iconic family.
Yes.
Yeah, so Ellen Hover's case was connected when they linked the alias John Berger, as you pointed out earlier. And reports from witnesses placed Rodney carrying a camera bag, walking with Ellen near the Rockefeller Center, close to where her body was found. And with all this new technology, they made a match, a DNA match. Horrifying discovery. He had so many more victims. His DNA was a match on 5 murder victims. Jill Barcombe, she was 18 years old, brutally assaulted. Her face was smashed in with a rock. Jill Parento, 21, she was strangled. Georgia Mixted, 27, she was sodomized, raped with the claw part of a hammer before beaten to death with the hammer. Charlotte Lamb, who was strangled to death with her hands bound behind her back and bite marks on both of her breasts. Pamela Lamson, 19, bludgeoned. They were all murdered in the late 70s.
Jeez. Okay.
I know, I ran you through those 5 really quickly.
My brain does not know what to think, but I also am very horrified by the claw end of the hammer statement.
Yeah, it's hard to skip over that detail. I hate to bring it up, but you gotta know.
How? It points the wrong direction.
I know.
I
know.
I can't.
I know. So he's a sexual sadist. You know, he wants to experience the arousal of their pain and torture before they die. That's what a sexual sadist is.
Yeah.
California prosecutors tried all 5 cases at the same time. And at trial, Rod serves as his own attorney. Why do they always do this? They think they're so smart. And technically, academically, they are, but just the common sense is not there.
What did I say in the beginning? Very egotistical, God complex kind of thing.
Yeah. Rod even went so far as to call Robin's own mother to the stand for cross-examination. Disgusting. This woman's a badass, by the way. Okay? She's been through it. You know, Robin
to say the least.
They were best friends. Her and her mom, best friends.
I really don't like that I have kids that are this exact same age. My kid's turning 11, but I'm like...
Still, it's too close. Nope.
Oh.
He tried to defame Robin's mom's character and even asked her about bringing a gun to the first trial for her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you what happened.
Also, I don't blame her. If she did, I don't blame her.
She did bring a gun to that very first trial, and she had every intention on shooting him.
I don't blame her. Really don't.
She had it in her purse. It was just a tiny one in her purse.
A little pocket pistol.
She said she stuck her hand in her purse at the moment that she knew she could get the shot. I mean, everything had lined up. It was going to happen. She was like, I'm going down for this and I don't care. Like, my daughter deserves justice. And she said, right as she touched the gun, she smelled Robin's shampoo and felt warmth on her hand where the cold metal of the gun was. Like Robin was holding her hand. And she knew that this was Robin intervening because there was higher justice needed than just Robin's case. And she's right, you know?
Oh my God.
Robin matters, obviously, and so do all the other victims. So we know that this probably was, some kind of, the veil was thin in this moment for Robin to come tell us that, like, it's not just about me. It's Tally, it's Morgan, it's Jill, it's all of these other victims. We need justice.
And there is nothing that could have stopped her, in my opinion.
No.
There's nothing that could have stopped her besides a literal spiritual act.
So, and like watching her interview where she talks about how she had every intention. She brought the gun. She was ready to go. She had it fully loaded. She made sure it was a revolver so she wouldn't have a misfire. Like,
the girl thought through everything.
And like the tears in her eyes when she's saying that she knows it was Robin. And she that smell of that shampoo. She didn't use that shampoo on herself, Like
a mama bear.
So the third trial for Robin's case finishes with the jury finding him guilty of murder in the first degree. Duh. And the penalty phase, the prosecution decided to bring out their surprise weapon. Good God. This is the best. This is the best. Tally fucking Shapiro walks into the courtroom.
Go, Tally.
And
Go,
she
Tally,
faces him for the first time since she was 8. Bleeding on that floor. Her Mary Janes. Whew. Whew. What if she wore Mary Janes to the trial? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just so happy. So Tally walks in and she is there for the penalty phase.
Yeah.
To give her testimony and just talk about her story for everything and finally face him. And be there. She also wanted to be there for the other victims' families to show her support and rally behind them. So Morgan, remember, she's watching from the sideline. She's watching on TV. She's watching the newspaper. She's listening to the radio.
She sees Tally.
When they report that Tally's walking in, she's like elated. And she finally sees her face. She finally knows her name, you know? And Tally gets to meet, also that same day at court, she gets to meet that citizen that followed that car. His name is Mr. Haynes.
Mr. Haynes.
And she hugs him and she's like, you saved me. And he's like, he's just telling her, I'm so happy you're alive. I'm so happy that I followed that car. I'm so happy like that you're here today. It was just such a sweet moment. Oh my God. What a tearjerker.
I'm dying over here.
Tally tells the media she believes Rod should be put down and no one else should have suffered at his hands after her. That's what she says. She said it should have ended with me. God. Okay, so Morgan is watching this play out on TV and she says, I'm feeling brave. I can talk about it. I can call Tally. I want to talk to her. I want to write her. I want to be like that. I want to be brave like her and talk about it. So she wrote Tally a letter. They call and then they're like, let's meet up. And they meet in person and they hug for a very, very long time. They just hug. And Morgan said specifically, she said, I'm so sorry to Tally. She's like, I'm so sorry I didn't speak up. Like it could have ended with me maybe. And Tally says, no, this is not your fault. You know, she's like, don't be sorry. There's nothing for you to be sorry about. Like, we got him. The son of a bitch is, you know, we got him. You know? Yeah. So they are still in contact. They are friends.
Yeah. I love that. They're best friends.
I know. It's so good. I'm so happy that they met. So
finally happy tears.
I know. So Rod pleads with the jury for clemency and actually I forgot about this part.
Suck a cactus, bitch.
I forgot about this part. It's so stupid. Okay. He plays a record of the song Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. If you haven't heard it, you can go listen to it now if you want to, but I'll just tell you, there is a large portion of the song is about wanting to kill people and talking about gore and guts. He plays it for the entire court. And the jury then chose death for Rod. Really, he chose it for himself.
What the fuck was he thinking? I'm so glad he's dumb.
I don't know what he was trying to do there.
What the fuck?
So in 2012, the California cases are now closed, okay? All of the California cases are done with, and he's, sentenced to death. The New York cases, he pled guilty to all of them. There were no trials for the New York cases, and he was given 50 years to life based off the New York cases.
It's all right. You're going to die.
So Rod was sentenced to San Quentin death row. He'd been on there for years.
Is he still alive? Okay, sorry.
In 2013, Rod gets a visit at Rikers Island from someone who had survived him without even a scratch. That's right. We've got one more survivor. We may have several more, actually. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she wants to know, why did you not kill me? Like, I saw everything that you did. I want to know. So Alice Farron, I think is how you say it, was 14. And she was at a bookstore across the street from a barbershop where her dad was getting his haircut. I don't remember if this was New York or California.
Okay.
Whatever. So Rod had approached her at the bookstore and tried to befriend her, and she quickly tried to leave the store, but he followed her and was like, come to my apartment, because his apartment was close by. And when she got inside, he was like, I want to take some pictures of you. That's so Jeffrey Dahmer. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Very.
And he's like, let me show you some of my work. So he hands her a stack of Polaroids. And I don't think he realized that some of them were the explicit, scary ones.
Or did he?
Or maybe. And she's horrified by the photos. But after he like hands them to her, he goes to the bathroom. And so she ran to the door after seeing those photos. And right as Rod's exiting the bathroom, completely naked, she bolted out the door. And then she's running towards the barbershop. But then she's like, I forgot my book.
No. Fuck the book. Fuck the book.
Listen, she had bought it to replace a copy of her brother's book that she had messed up. So she went back and pounded on the door. Rod opened it and she said, book. She like demanded it. She said, book, and like held her hand out. Now. And he handed it to her and she ran.
What the hell?
She thought, I'm just escaping some pervert. But no. In 2010, she saw him in the headline articles for murder, and she realized she could have suffered a much worse fate. So when Rod sees her in 2013 at Rikers Island, he thinks that she's a social worker for him. But she tells him, no, we met a long time ago in 1969. Do you remember me? I returned for my book, and you let me go. And he said he didn't remember. And she visited him again to try and help investigators gain more information on other possible victims.
Yeah.
So, whatever. It's just, how crazy is that? She's a book. All for the book. Anyway, I want to know what the book was. Anyway.
I know.
Let's go back to Christine on the road trip, the pregnant woman, her boyfriend. Do you remember? Abusive boyfriend comes home and she doesn't come home? Okay. So she had an 11-year-old sister when she went missing, Kathy. Kathy grew up. Kathy became an investigator.
That's right, Kathy.
Kathy became the investigator working Christine's missing persons case for 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
Kathy had a teenage son who was one day watching 48 Hours on Rodney Alcala when he saw some of the photographs displayed that Rod had taken. And he sent the photos to his mom and was like, look through these. Tell me if any of these look like her. And one looked very much like Christine, but her hair was in her face, so it just wasn't a very clear shot.
Yeah.
But Christine had a special feature that would set her apart. One of her pinky toes was much smaller, and it was like hook-shaped a little bit.
Oh.
And so in one of the photos, Christine is on a motorcycle, and she's wearing like sandals.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see her toes.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a match. So after some more digging, Kathy was sure that Rod had killed her sister. Kathy submitted her own DNA to the National Database for Missing Persons. And in 1982, a body was discovered in remote Granger, Wyoming. It was mainly bones, and the remains had been there for about 6 years.
Wow.
So her body had been found much
just
earlier
unidentified.
on. It was just identified, yeah.
Gosh.
There were discarded clothes nearby, and the DNA from the bones indicated it was a female that had been 6 months pregnant, which does line up.
Wow.
And Kathy's DNA was a perfect match from the DNA from these samples. So it was
like they were related.
Christine, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
gosh.
What happened is Christine had separated from her abusive boyfriend, and then she met Rod on the road, and they rode on a motorcycle to Granger, Wyoming, where Christine's life was taken by Rodney. We don't know exactly what happened to her.
Right.
But in September of 2016, Rod was interviewed. He had new onset dementia and was frail at the time. Investigators on Christine's case showed Rod photos of the Granger area, and he told them, oh, I know that area. That's my area. And when shown Christine's photo, he immediately reacted like he was kind of reliving it. He kept tracing her body with his finger.
Ew.
Yeah. And tapping on the photo. He said he didn't kill her. He did say, when I left her, she was alive. So I don't know what that means.
And I am the Pope. Shut up.
But admitting he was at the scene of the crime when she was.
That's my area? I don't like that.
So because he admitted he was at the scene of the crime and he was the only other person that no one else would have matched up for this. So he was charged with first-degree murder for Christine Thornton's murder. And he died in prison. He died in 2021, age 77.
Firing squad?
No.
Damn it.
Natural causes. Sorry.
Damn it. Should have been the firing squad.
There were 8 victims confirmed that died at his hands. 3 that we know survived, but there are countless others. We're sure of that. He lured them with his charm, education, and Catholic studies, his photography and film. He loved to prey on girls, especially young girls. He toyed with the victims. And I'm very happy he's no longer here.
Yeah.
However, because we're unsure where it all stops with who he killed or who he assaulted, who escaped him, who died at his hands, investigators are still taking on any inquiries for the photos that are going to be linked. You can look through those, and if someone looks familiar to you or a family member, then please, you can contact the San Quentin Department of Corrections or California Department of Corrections, and they can cross things over with his case.
Yeah. Wasn't there one of his victims that he took out to the desert or somewhere, raped and beat, but then when the girl came to, she convinced him to she was like, I'll be your girlfriend, and nothing ever happened, it's fine, and got him to take her back to town, and she acted like his girlfriend. And then when they stopped to get gas, she ran off to I think it was a diner or something, and got him turned in.
I don't know.
And that wasn't where he ended. He still had, I think Robin happened after that, but that was he had another charge for that, but then slipped under the cracks. There were so many times that he slipped.
It's possible. Yeah, that's definitely possible, but I don't have anything in my notes from it.
Okay.
A lot of the information that I got was from, which university is it? That's a good question.
Because that movie, did you watch the whole movie? Or did you watch it at all?
No.
Okay, so that's how the movie ends. And that does happen, one of his victims, because there's so many, one of his victims, that does happen too.
Okay.
But for some reason, he got a plea deal, or I can't remember, but he falls under the cracks and keeps offending. But that's how the movie ends, when that's not how he got caught. There were so many more women after that he murdered, and then finally gets caught with the whole Robin thing. So
Orange County Police Department, you can also call them.
Okay. But I was kind of disappointed when I was like, oh, that's not really how that ended.
Yeah. Radford University.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Radford University. They have a timeline of all the victims that are confirmed.
Yeah.
And when the incident happened. When they went missing or died or anything like that. So
okay, Monique Hoyt was the girl that I'm referring to. She was another one of his victims.
Okay.
She was 15 years old, and he attacked her in February of 1979. After the attack, in an attempt to escape, she convinced Alcala that she wasn't angry and wanted to continue seeing him. This allowed her to return to his car with him. When he stopped at a gas station, she fled and contacted the authorities. Hoyt later testified against Alcala in 2010.
Oh, with the 50 witnesses. That makes sense.
Yeah, she was another one of the 50 witnesses. I can't remember why the charges against him when it came to her were so much less. I guess because she didn't actually die, and so he maybe just got a slap on the wrist. But he had already been a repeat offender at this point. It was 1979.
That's weird.
This was after he had spent time in jail, was on So she's still alive, right? Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know how I skipped over her, but we're so happy that you're okay. We're so happy you're
Monique Hoyt is who I was thinking.
Monique Hoyt.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. See, but I knew about Monique, but there were so many of those other victims I didn't know about. The list is endless.
It's so much. So there might be some connections in these photos. some of the photos, I believe, like, once they're identified, they will, like, update the name under the photo. But some of them will say, like, unknown female, whatever. So, just look through those if you want to.
This is the kind of stuff that, like, if we're able to ever, like, when we're able to do this full time and really get, like, funds and start our nonprofit that we want to, or our grant that we can actually get money and send over to help push forward the cases that do need to run, like, DNA tests and then get them sent off to, like, ancestry genealogists who can actually start putting that pieces together. But again, you need money. And so this is, like, one of my biggest dreams is to be able to, like, put money towards that and get these cases solved. Like, that be a part of it. I just think that would be super cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm excited for the day that we'll have the opportunity to do that.
What day?
It's going to happen, but we need your help. So
share, subscribe, do all the things.
Please do. We appreciate it. We appreciate everyone on our Patreon too that helps support the podcast. You help us to keep making more content, more episodes, doing more research. So thank you so much for that. And for everyone that supports by wearing our merchandise as well.
Yes.
That also just contributes more to our show. Let me just say, we are not getting rich off you guys, okay? We are not like, we're not trying to screw anybody over. We want to pay our editor. That's our main thing. This has been a very long case. I'm so sorry that it's taken me so long.
No, I think it was definitely worth it.
Yes,
it
I think
needed
so too.
Full attention.
The good news is he's not here anymore.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the
dead.
good news.
Congratulations, he's dead. I have a very interesting case that I'm covering next. If it should be the next episode. I have another one that it's in the works, but I have a very interesting one. It's kind of just like, what the fuck? Not super, like, crazy heavy.
Scary?
So, yeah, it's kind of just like, whoa, you're kind of fucked up.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Your morals are kind of questionable.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not crazy heavy, but yeah, it's exciting. Not exciting. You know what I mean? You get it.
Okay.
Anyways, hard right turn. Palate cleansers. Do you have one, Lola?
Yes. God.
I like how you're like, yes.
Well, we're recording in the morning. So, like, that's my palate cleanser is that, like, I'm really excited that I have the rest of the day to, like, do more stuff, you know? So.
Yes.
Because I need to start on my notes for the next case I'm on. So I need to get on that.
Yeah. I have so much work that needs to be done for the podcast. I have YouTube videos to catch up on and I have all the things. But yeah, my palate cleanser is I've gotten some projects around the house done, which has been really nice. We got some new furniture, which is nice. And one of my we call them our adolescents because we have 3 different stages of chickens right now. We have our adults, we have our adolescents, and then we have our baby chicks. And so our adolescents, one of them finally crowed today, one of the roosters. And I was like, oh my God. And it's so funny when they first start crowing because it's literally like, I'm going to move away from the mic when I do it, but it's literally
so...
like...
It literally sounds like they're going through puberty.
Yeah, yeah, it is the funniest shit. And so, like, my neighbor's rooster crows, and then our rooster crows, and then he's like trying to like crow with them. Yeah, it's quite hilarious. But we're all like, I was outside trying to record a TikTok, and then all of a sudden my husband walks out of the garage and he just kind of looks at me, and I was like, did you hear something? And so he goes over to the chickens and he just waits, and then all of a sudden we hear it, and I was like,
oh, that's so good. Excellent.
Anyways, well, thank you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. With that, please stay safe, stay skeptical,
and steer clear of the cultish carousel. See you guys next time. Bye. Also, heathens, if you're enjoying the show so far, like we said earlier, like, subscribe, do all the things. Check out our Patreon. You can get some ad-free episodes. Check out our merch. Everything is always listed down below in the show notes. You can also contact any resources that you need. Is also always listed down in the show notes. If you need suicide prevention, human trafficking, things like that. If you need some hotlines, we have those names, numbers, and lists always down in the show notes. We love you guys. Thanks again for listening. Deadly Faith Podcast is brought to you by Laci Nikki Bean and Lola Robbins, and audio engineered by Eric Howell. Thanks for listening. Bye.